Hi guys, I am Shreyas Jetty. I completed my UG from University of Agriculture Sciences, Bengaluru, and I am here to share my experience with how I prepared for this ICAR JRF plant science. As you all know, plant science has five major subjects: genetics, plant breeding, plant pathology, agriculture microbiology, seed tech, and minor subjects like crop physiology and biochemistry. Before starting your preparation, you should go through the whole syllabus copy. Means you should decide which topics you have to read carefully and which topics you should not read. Don't waste your time on unnecessary topics. And when it comes to first genetics, I referred BD Singh, Fundamentals of Genetics by BD Singh. I referred up to 25 chapters, Population Genetics. I divided the whole 25 chapters into two parts. In first part, I kept those chapters which I have to read line by line, means very important chapters. And in second part, I kept those chapters which I have to read only important topics and important points. Important points means the sentences which are printed in italics or bold, and scientists and their contribution, like that. And for molecular genetics part, I suggest you to go through the genetics medicine. Genetics medicine is a summarized form of genetics where they have given the whole genetics important points in very simple language, and you should go through that book at least minimum 3 to 4 times. And when it comes to plant breeding, I refer Essentials of Plant Breeding by Pundan Singh, in which in this book they have given the whole plant breeding in very simple language where you can understand easily. I felt BDC plant breeding is very conceptually depth, and it's not for this exam. But read important institutes and important points in that book. And when it comes to objective genetics and objective plant breeding, I refer BD Singh and BK Prasad. Go through whole book, means important chapters, and mark those questions which you felt very important and very little bit confusing. Because when you read that book second time, you should read only those questions which you have marked. Don't waste your time again by reading unnecessary questions. And in last part, a small part is there, appendices in both books. Go through that at least 7 to 8 times. It's very important. Very important tables are there. You should know that. And when it comes to plant pathology, I refer H.C. Dubey, a textbook of fungi, virus, and bacteria. In virus and bacteria part, you should read A to Z, means you should read line to line. But in fungi, so many unnecessary parts are there, unnecessary topics. Simply skip that. Don't waste your time. But you should be very clear in fungi classification and important causal organisms of major crops. And then comes to objective plant pathology by Uptal Kumar Bhattacharya. It's a very important book. It will be useful for you for this exam, and you should know all the causal organisms of major crops, and you should have clarity. Don't get confused, and know anamorphic and telomorphic name of the causal organism of the major crops. And you should know which method is given by which scientist and in which organism. And in plant breeding also, you should know which breeding method is used in which situation. Every breeding method has a striking character or unique character which makes them separate and unique. You should know that. And in plant pathology, some journals and some important books written by some society or some authors will be there, and you should know that. And then comes to agriculture microbiology. I refer Taro and Kapoor, first five chapters and last five chapters. There you have to know the important concepts and important scientists, their contribution, and organisms used in amino acid production or food microbiology or industrial microbiology. And when it comes to seed tech, I refer P.K. Agarwal and Ranganayaki. P.K. Agarwal, their isolation distance, genetic purity, physical purity, and germination percentage, you should know these concepts of major crops, and you should have clarity in that, because in exam you should not face any confusion in your exam. And when it comes to crop physiology, I referred Arun Kachian, crop physiology part, because for crop physiology, elementary knowledge or basic knowledge will be more than enough. Don't waste your time by reading deep in that subject. and you should know what happens in C3, what happens in C4, what's the total product of glycolysis, like this. Basic knowledge is more than enough. And when it comes to general agriculture plays an important role in deciding your rank, because in major subjects all aspirants read the same book, same questions, but understanding level is different. That's secondary. So don't neglect general agriculture. Read Nimrod Sunda thoroughly, and attend telegram quizzes, and you should know the what's the MSP of important crops, and current affairs. Current affairs also plays an important role in this exam. And what's the MSP, and which state released a new policy relating to agriculture, like that. And for plant pathology glands, I personally suggest you to Instant Plant Science by Santosh Kumar. It's a very important book, and they have given so many points that are not in BD or Pundan Singh. So go through it at least 5 to 6 times. It's very useful for you. And when it comes to last but not least, mock tests. Mock tests, don't start mock tests before 1 month or 2 months. Start your mock tests as early as possible, because mock test gives you an idea how to prepare for the exam, and how a question may come in your exam. So it will give you an idea how to read a particular topic, or like that. And keep a separate notebook and write the important questions appeared in mock test. But you feel little bit confused, write those questions and read it time to time. And whatever the textbooks or whatever the notes you read, simply keep the important points. Don't write all the points. Write the important points in notebook, because in last days you cannot read the whole book, whole 900 to 1000 pages book. Simply revise those little book in which you have entered your points. And as you all know, there will be 120 questions. Each correct question carries you 4 marks, and each negative question carries -1 marks. I suggest you to, if you know anything about that question or anything about that concept, attempt it, because in 10 questions, if you correct 2 questions, you won't face any loss. But after 2 questions, if any one questions get correct, you will get 4 marks extra. If 2 questions get correct, you will get 8 marks extra, like that. So attempt the question if you know something about that. Try it once. It's my experience. And read the questions word to word in your exam, because there will be so many words that may that changes the perception of the questions, like not and only, like some questions which changes the perception of the questions, which leads you to mark the wrong answer. Beware of that. Calmly read the all questions line to line, and that's it. And don't get stressed by your classmates while you are preparation, like they are referring the notes and textbooks which you don't know, and they will discuss some things, some stuff that you don't know. Don't worry about that. Go as per your plan. Prepare a timetable. Means you should prepare a timetable in which you should mention within this date I will complete this book. Within this date I will complete this target. Like that. Follow that strictly, and you will get to your goal. And finally, I want to thank Krashi and Satyam sir for giving this opportunity to share my experience with you all, and mock test they have given during the last days that helped me so much. Thank you. All the best.